Now it's 6, snow falling in East Tennessee. Look at it coming down in Cott County. Penny Mead sent us this video from the Del Rio area where big flakes covered everything in sight. In Knoxville, the snow fell as well, but didn't stick in most places. This video from Paul Wells. And look at the snow-covered bushes. We head to Cookeville. This is from WVLT Weatherval, Cray Slavin. Thank you so much for sending us these pictures.
This is WVLT News This Morning.
And you can see that snow still coming down. This is a live look from Preserve Pool Lodge up in the Smoky Mountains. And we do have a WVLT Weather Alert Day in place. We do thank you for joining us here on WVLT News this morning. And we have team coverage. I'm Harry Sullivan, and this winter weather moving through East Tennessee. We will have those school closures at the bottom of your screen. We have Kyle Granger. He's out in Sevier County checking on conditions for you this morning. But first, we start with Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley in the Weather Center, who is tracking all of this. Heather, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, and good morning to Kyle, too. Actually, I like that decor behind you, Kyle. Looking kind of cold, though, as we go outside this morning. Keep in mind, Kyle's bundled up. You get ready to bundle up, too. I mean, look at this. We've got snow still falling. Absolutely. That's kind of the beauty of it, right? You still see some snow fall. Some of you, it's collected on those cold surfaces. We have started getting reports, at least I did on my Facebook page this morning, of some black ice possible on bridges. It's cold, those cold surfaces, it is cold enough now. And then throw down some snowfall. Actually, a lot of flurries kind of filling that in, so you can see a little bit better. There's a lot more flurries with some snow showers still this morning. This bright white you see here, that's some active snowfall. It's still accumulating in the mountains. It's just a little lighter still down into the lower elevation. So that's the difference in what you see, what you deal with, right? Roads are actually covered the higher up you get in snow, since it's been fallen since yesterday morning. So now we're really just all dealing with the leftovers. Still some snow, still very, very cold, and wind chills continue all day today. That's why the WVLT weather alert actually doesn't wrap up now until tomorrow morning. All right, it's 24 right now in Crossville, 31 in Knoxville, 30 Sneedville, 27 Harlan. Right, everybody's below freezing, still cooling another couple of degrees. We'll share more upper 20s even into the valley this morning, with this cloud cover still dropping some flurries, and the wind is still making it feel 5 to 10 degrees colder at times all day long. That's the problem. This isn't just this morning, unfortunately, for wind chills. The clouds and the flurries and snow showers continue absolutely this morning. Wind chills continue all day. And right now it feels like 21 in Knoxville. Feels like 18 in Monticello. Crossville, you're waking up to a lovely 13 right now. 19 is what it feels like. Spring City, 23 Morristown to 16 in Harlan. So bundling up, absolutely. I think at this point it's almost an understatement as we cool to the upper 20s, dip a little bit more on those wind chills as well, and then just a little tiny warm up. I'll show you what it's actually going to look and feel like in the forecast where you live coming up here in just about 15 minutes.
Heather, thank you. It is 6:03. Let's get a check of your traffic. First, that road weather index. You can see those flurries that are still falling out there. That's going to limit your visibility in a lot of places across our area. Zooming into Knoxville, you can see there are a few slowdowns. And then back out, seeing the mountains, you can just see how much of that snow has fallen in some places. Keep an eye on those roads. We have heard some signs and some warnings of some black ice across some bridges. But let's check in with Pete Michaels. Pete, you actually were talking about a couple of accidents right before we left you last. Good morning.
Yeah, you know what, Harry, I agree with you and Heather. A few patches of black ice around, but from what I've been able to see, the exception rather than the rule. Although they've had a wreck with injury in the last 15 minutes on Clinton Highway, West Beaver Creek. One at Strawberry Plains Pike south of I-40, maybe down near Region Lane. If you're traveling, well, you mentioned 441 through the Smoky shut down. Could have been a patch of ice. The problem is that anywhere you had water runoff yesterday afternoon, whether it's natural, whether it's a construction area, maybe a car wash area, you've got a patch of ice this morning. So if it looks really dark, black, shiny, you know that's probably going to be black ice. But I got to tell you something. Overall, interstate main secondary is acceptable. Just to plan ahead and look ahead. Pete Michaels, Pilot. Have a warm morning, everybody.
All right, Pete, same to you. It is 6:04. We now want to go live to Kyle Granger, who was in Pigeon Forge this morning. It looks like a winter wonderland behind you there, Kyle. You got the Christmas lights going on, but I know it is cold. What's the latest? What's going on in Pigeon Forge?
Well, Winterfest is underway in Pigeon Forge, and I guess the snow is just fitting to go along with all of the decor that's out here. But this morning it is cold, and I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I'm protected by a building here to keep the wind off of me just a little bit so I stay a little bit warmer. I've got the layers on, and I'm going to tell you, you need every bit of the layering that you have. I need to go find the earmuffs and dig them out because you kind of need it on your ears this morning. Just kind of look. We were talking about that black ice earlier. There are areas, as I've made my drive from Sevierville into Pigeon Forge, there are areas where water accumulated on the roadways, that ponding that we typically see. Well, what is happening is some of those outer layers have started to freeze, and of course you can see that here on our entrance drive right off of the parkway into the Ramsey here, where some of that water is standing this morning. But right now just a few little flurries. These are some little snowflakes, I'm going to tell you. Hard to even see. It kind of almost looks like dust just kind of flying around this morning. But we're going to take some drives across Sevier County this morning. We're going to see some other areas and see what's going on in the different areas. I know the Emergency Management Agency did put out an alert advising people of how to drive in winter weather, because some of the higher hilltops around here obviously can be a different story than down in the valley. So we'll drive around, see what we find, and let you know coming up in about 20 minutes. Harry?
All right, Kyle, thank you very much. Be safe out there. Remember, there's that nice fireplace inside the Ramsey if you get too cold out there. I know you know.
My bed was really comfortable, too, this morning.
I hear you. I hear you. Ditto that. Thank you, Kyle. We'll talk to you in just a bit. Well, the Tennessee Department of Transportation has been out treating the roads where needed. They were there overnight in places where there could be some slick spots. They say only get on the roads if you need to. Other than the WVLT News app, you'll have it right there. And well, with that cold weather moving in, it's time to find some heat. This morning, the risks that space heaters could play in a household. And how summer weather in East Tennessee could predict how much snow we have in the wintertime.
And we still have some snow falling. Many of you may be waking up to coating on those cold surfaces, but you got to get out on those roads. We'll talk more about how much more snow will fall and what it's going to feel like in the forecast where you live next.
6:13 on this Tuesday morning. We need to get a check of your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley. That snow out there, the kids love it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Saw all those pictures of the kids frolicking in it yesterday. I think a lot of us headed to work this morning like, I don't know.
Yeah, and actually I was going to say my kids were definitely there. I was here last night, so I kind of took that break. We went to see the kids, and you know, they were just going, look, inside, just pointing out the windows. Like every flake was just fascinating.
Exactly.
Actually, Cindy, it's funny, she just posted this in our WVLT weather app, sent this in and said, all right, now I'm getting into the Christmas spirit. All right, so hey, whatever helps you out there, there's definitely some positive ways to look at it. So this was actually just this morning, waking up to see that wet road versus the snow-covered grass and the railing. Now, some of those wet roads do have the isolated puddle that turned over to some ice. The bridges, they're colder surfaces, so just something to keep in mind. That's the only thing that really could slow us down unless you're headed up high in the hills and mountains. Absolutely more slick roads there. So just a very important point, as we do still have some snowfall. Right, maybe that's actually why a lot of schools are on a delay too, is the distraction factor of the snowfall with the kids. We still have a lot of flurries and scattered snow showers. On this loop, it actually is a little better at seeing some snowfall, as in light to moderate. White spots are some brighter, heavier snowfall. So that's where we're seeing still that accumulating in the mountains. Now, the live radar does a better job at even kind of filling in flurries. So we have a lot more flurries outside of this. And that's where you can see that more of a blanket in the valley. So there is still some ebb and flow on a couple of flurries flying from these cold clouds, a couple of snow showers, still accumulating snowfall on cold surfaces. We all share the wind chill, right? No matter what you're seeing, no matter what's on your grass versus grandma's on the other side of town, we're all cold. It feels like 16 right now in Harlan, feels like 17 in Jamestown, 13 right now. Crossville's your wind chill, 21 Knoxville and Madisonville. That's what we have to dress for this morning, for the day today. Absolutely. That's what's the most important part, because really we're starting the day with temperatures cooling another couple of degrees, but we're starting the day with wind chills over the next hour between 10 and 20. Right? So literally feeling like 20 Knoxville, 14 Middlesboro, 10 Crossville. Our WVLT weather alert continues all day though, because these wind chills aren't going anywhere. Snowfall, that tapers off, clouds exit, but we're stuck with wind chills all day long. By lunch, midday, Feels like 20s for most. It'll feel like 19 still Crossville, 23 Middlesboro. It'll feel like 28 Knoxville to Sweetwater. So just important to keep in mind that even this afternoon, when we make it all the way to 37, it still feels like 31 in Knoxville. Feels like 27 La Follette, 22 Crossville. So that's why I say the wind chills really last a lot longer than even the snow that's on the ground for some of you, and definitely the snowfall. Over the next few hours, we're going to continue to see that persist with the snow accumulating mountains, some spots of snow showers. Blanket of clouds, cold enough flurries linger, but the clouds are peeling back. So by midday, we still have some isolated snow in the mountains. By the afternoon, couple little specks of snow mountaintops because these clouds are peeling back. So everything clears out this evening into tonight. So that light snowfall continues to accumulate. Mountains added up a little bit more. If you were thinking about heading into higher elevations because you love these views, just keep in mind the higher up you get, more likely you are to find actual slick spots. Those are the colder roads. Those are the spots where it can easily accumulate even on the roads. But we're all stuck with the cold air. I mean, look at this puny temperature range, right? Mid-30s, by the way, is the average low for this time of year. And that's where we are this afternoon, from 27 at 7 to 32 at 11. High today's 37. So just keep that in mind. The forecast where you live makes it all the way to 37 in Knoxville. I'm talking 40 in Athens today, 39 Madisonville, 33 your high at Crossville. Again, feeling colder. 35 La Follette to 32 your high today in Stearns. Tazewell, you make it all the way to 33. Dandridge 36 and 23 at the entrance to the national park. I don't know about going up in those mountains. To each their own, though. All right, so today it is that WVLT weather alert. Snowfall, icy spots this morning, frigid wind chills all day. Tomorrow morning is actually a deep freeze there, a hard frost there at 23. In the next couple of days, though, we're trying to recover before another front comes in. So notice Thursday we added some clouds and a few showers building up. On and off rain Friday, and that pushes temperatures back down just a little bit. Chilly upper 40s this weekend.
Heather, thank you very much. It is 6:17. Let's get a check of your traffic again. We do want to look at your road weather index. You can see continues for East Tennessee, the latest on your weather and traffic. Plus coronavirus and snow schedules colliding in East Tennessee schools. As some move online, will snow days ever be a thing again? Well, this morning a WVLT weather alert as East Tennessee sees its first snow of the season. The flakes dusting this yard. This picture from Ashley Wright. And in Newmarket, snow blanketing the Daniels yard, helping set the scene for their Christmas decorations. Love that glow there. And this is a live look from Pigeon Forge at Preserve Cap. As you can see, just a few of those flakes visible there on the live cam. We do have team coverage this morning of our WVLT weather alert. Kyle Granger, he's out in Sevier County checking on the roads and conditions. We'll get to him in just a bit, but first we start with Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley. She's in the Weather Center with what we can expect today. We're much warmer in here, Heather, than poor Kyle out there this morning.
Yeah, but Kyle, I don't have lights behind me, and you know how much I love Christmas decorations, so I'm kind of jealous of Kyle's view. Just saying. They do it up in Sevier County with that decor. I love it. Actually, kind of fitting, right? First day of December, officially the start of winter, and we have wintry weather. The problem is, though, is of course the impacts. It does feel even colder all day today. That's why we have your WVLT weather alert actually lasting into tonight. Very cold air still settling in. Things will settle down, but for now it's still snow showers, flurries, some isolated pockets of ice on back roads and bridges. But keep in mind, as the kids are getting out the door, even on a 2-hour delay, it still puts you at 31 degrees. Right? So bundling up is absolutely still a factor. We're not missing that one by going in a couple of hours late. It just gives everybody a chance to kind of assess how are things doing. Like I said, we've had a couple of viewers report some patches of black ice on bridges. Of course, hills and mountaintops always are going to be colder, are always going to have that risk of some snow or ice on the roads when we have an event like this. For now, though, most surfaces are still too warm. So your car that sat out overnight has a nice little coating of snow on it. Your porch, your deck, your grass, it's still snowing. Yep, this is active snow showers. You can actually see these shades of gray. That's some flurries to some light snowfall. These bright white pockets here where it's still snowing good in the mountains. So I can filter that out a bit better, show you all the flurries, even in parts of Roan to Loudoun to Anderson, Union, Knox, Blunt to Sevier, right? Still some active weather right now, right into your morning hours. But we're going to start seeing the views change today. Problem is the cold air ain't going anywhere just yet. It's 31 right now in Knoxville, 29 Monticello, 24 Crossville to 27 Harlan. Now what it really feels like, 21 in Knoxville. yet we still have to deal with that wind all day long. Actually, we're going to keep those winds up. So your wind chills or your feels like temperatures right now, feels like 13 in Crossville. Wind chills 21 Knoxville to Townsend and Morristown, 18 Lansing, 19 is what it feels like in Spring City, to 20 Pineville. So this is what we're dressing for, right? The very, very cold air. And then a very puny warm up today. So I'll show you how this is going to play out with clouds to snow to feels like temperatures in the forecast where you live, coming up in 15 minutes.
Heather, thank you. We do want to get a check of your traffic here at 6:32 on this Tuesday morning. You can see that snow out there impacting your visibility in a lot of our areas. Taking a look closer in at Knoxville. Still looking green for the most part. PU as well. We now head back to Sevier County as Kyle Granger checking in on those road conditions up there. Kyle, good morning.
Good morning to you, Harry. I made the drive from Pigeon Forge to here in Gatlinburg, and I tell you, there's a big difference in the temperature. Just that few hundred feet in elevation, you get into Gatlinburg, you feel the difference. Just slightly colder here, and of course, there's more snow flurries that are falling, and really the scenery here is a lot different. On Pigeon Forge, everything's just kind of melting as it hits the ground, but here in Gatlinburg, we actually have some areas that are starting to stick, and I even saw that on my drive through the spur, some of the shoulders of the roadway starting to see some of that ice and snow accumulation on it. Now, I know we have some folks who watch us online who live in Cherokee but work in Gatlinburg. Just remember that 441 through the Smokies is closed due to snow and ice, so you're going to have to make the long way around. And for those of you who happen to live in Gatlinburg and work in Cherokee, you're going to be doing that opposite turnaround as well. Let me show you what's going on right here where I'm at in Gatlinburg, kind of the heart of town. You can see down Parkway. We do have some wet streets, and we have the delivery trucks that are already out restocking the restaurants and suppliers around town here. We're at the historic Gatlinburg Inn, and you can see Heather was talking about this, some of the cars that have the snow that has accumulated on them overnight here in the parking lot, and I thought this was really cool to see how it accumulated in the trees there. Just kind of a pretty picture, but still coming down here this morning. You can see if we pan it up into the lights, you'll see exactly what we're talking about here with this light snow that continues to fall here in Gatlinburg, but just accumulating on those grassy surfaces, those really cold surfaces here through the course of the overnight hours, and we'll continue to see that, of course, as Heather was clearly mentioning there, through the course of the next couple of hours or so as those flurries continue here into the Smokies. So it's a cold morning in Gatlinburg. Hope everyone has the winter coats out ready to roll. We'll check in some other areas in Sevier County coming up in the next little while. Live in Gatlinburg, I'm Kyle Granger, WVLT News.
Kyle, I bet there's some people in some cabins up there in the Gatlinburg area waking up to a beautiful, beautiful sight this morning. Looks pretty good behind you there. We'll talk to you in just a bit. Well, TDOT has been out treating the roads. They were doing, and if you didn't know, now you do. There is such a thing as the perfect Christmas tree. We'll show you what the experts say is the best for hanging ornaments. All that and more. That starts at 7 on WBXX, the CW Knoxville. Well, it's a day of giving as one organization needs your help during their 24-hour marathon of folks making a difference. .43 on this Tuesday morning, getting a check of your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley. I went outside yesterday. I have a rooftop deck at my apartment complex, and I was like, I'm going to get a beautiful shot of the snow falling down. I got stuck up there for 30 minutes. We almost needed Pete Michaels to come and just rope me off of it.
Airlift you out?
Yeah, it was almost bad, but we're good.
Okay, you survived. That's good.
Crisis averted.
That's important. I was doing like the little kid thing yesterday when I was working last night, and I just kind of ran outside and I'm like, oh look, it's snow. Come back inside. Yeah, I'm sure I wasn't the only one who was quickly checking on that snowfall too with that cold air. Actually, I so appreciate the photo, especially, I mean, I don't have any windows in here. Let me see what you see. Aiden shared this beautiful photo from Farragut. First off, you give me a barn, you give me a farm anywhere in our area, and I'm sold. I love that. A little dusting on the grass, on the barn, just absolutely beautiful. As we kick off with still some more snowfall, right? Keep sending in your photos and your videos. We love to see them. We still have snow showers scattered around our area, but there's actually some more flurries. So first off, this tracks your snowfall. A little bit heavier right now, north and east Knoxville, even heavier mountain tops. And then there's a lot more flurries, even reaching out further. Cold clouds continue to drop a few snowflakes at times this morning. It feels colder as you get out the door, though. It's 21 for a wind chill right now in Knoxville, 20 Greenville, 13 is what it feels like in Crossville at the moment, 21 Middlesboro. So that's why really our WVLT weather alert continues all day today. Wind chills tonight, hard freeze. That's what we have ahead. So this morning we're dipping to the upper 20s, but by 10 a.m. for those of you on a 2-hour delay, if you're even just stalling on getting out the door, it's still going to be 30 at 10. We're just slowly peeling back the clouds though, which will then take out the snowfall, and that's what helps us get all the way to 37 for the high. I know. All right, I'm being sarcastic for a reason. That hurts. That's near the normal low. At evening hours, temperatures will drop quick because the sky's clear. So that's what sets us up for that hard freeze, hard frost tonight. So snowfall, there is still a little bit accumulating still on the grassy surfaces, mountaintops still accumulating. So just be careful as you get out the door this morning for a few slick spots. Bridges, for example, could have a patch of black ice. We're starting the day around 27 degrees. By noon, it's the low 30s. We're just trying to get above freezing for the afternoon. But keep in mind, it feels colder. So 37 degrees for the high is bad enough, but it does continue to feel colder. So when it comes down to it, the forecast where you live flies all the way to 37 in Knoxville. 39 Tellico Plains, 38 Kingston. You're making it to 33 today in Wartburg and Crossville. Your high's 37 in Clinton. Tazewell, your top out at 33. Barberville, 34. High today 37 in Blaine to 35. Pigeon Forge, 33. Your high today in Greenville. But like I said, it feels colder. So I think what's more important, while many of us are really low to upper 30s this afternoon, this is what it'll feel like. It actually feel like 26 this afternoon in Monticello. 22 is what it'll feel like this afternoon, Crossville. Athens to Sweetwater to Knoxville, 31. When the kids are getting out of school, when you're getting out of work, it's even colder, of course, because this is in that 3 o'clock hour. 24 your wind chill at 3 o'clock in Harlan. As I mentioned, the evening hours do cool pretty quick, so we'll still have some wind. The winds will slowly back off this evening into tonight, so that'll put us really in upper teens through 20s this evening when folks are getting out of work, but by tomorrow morning it is all clear. The key here, and the reason I linger our WVLT weather alert into the early morning hours, is because we get that clear sky, so temperatures can just plummet. We'll end up in the low 20s tomorrow morning. That sets up a very hard freeze, hard frost for our area. Talk about some ice scraping time. Right, but then at least the sunshine helps us out. We make it to 45 for your high tomorrow. So just kind of climb in a bit better. WVLT weather alert can end and things are all clear tomorrow. But I wanted to show you where clouds and a few showers approach for Thursday, rain at times for Friday. And this does look like it'll linger a little bit into Saturday. So we'll keep you updated on that timeline exactly, because right now it's on and off rain Friday into Friday night as well, and then tapering off on Saturday. But notice just as we recovered in near 50 on Thursday, pushed back to upper 40s. Of course, after today's upper 30s, that may not feel too bad. We are looking at a cooler weekend ahead.
Heather, thank you. We do want to get a check of your traffic, and our road weather index has not looked like this for quite some time. Look at all that snow out there causing some visibility issues. We've also heard of some black ice over a couple of bridges. As we take a look into Knoxville on how those roads are looking, we do see a couple of slips as well. Let's check in with meteorologist Kyle Granger again, up making his way around Sevier County. Kyle, still in Gatlinburg. Good morning. What are you seeing out there?
We're seeing just a few flurries that are still flying around here this morning. We have some areas of grassy surfaces, some trees that have collected some of that snowfall that has been coming down since yesterday. Of course, Gatlinburg, one of the first places getting in on the action as we saw that transition here in the higher elevations start earlier in the day. One of the biggest troubles you're going to see throughout the course of the morning hours are the wet streets that we have in Sevier County. And I can tell you, my drive from Pigeon Forge into Gatlinburg through the spur, there were some pockets and areas, especially around those bridges and overpasses, where we had some ice that was trying to accumulate on the side of the roads. And I'll say one more time for those of you who watch us online from Cherokee, because you work in Gatlinburg and need to know what's going on over here, there are areas in the park, the roadways that are closed, so you're going to make sure that you're allowing extra time to take that long way around to get back into Gatlinburg. Reporting live in Gatlinburg, Kyle Granger, WVLT News.
All right, Kyle, we'll check in with you again over on WBXX, the CW Knoxville. Thank you. Well, on to your top stories. Federal Reserve Chair.
6:55 now. Good morning to you. Really watching those scattered snow showers continue. Some flurries still filling in here. You can see some flurries still flying on the plateau, parts of the valley. Those brighter white spots you can see here in this loop, that's some heavier snowfall. So that's hitting much better up at the mountain tops. And earlier this morning, northeast Tennessee as well. Now there's a lot more flurries flying, so that's easier to see on the live radar as I'll layer this up so you can see the different kind of vantage points of where it's snowing versus where it's cold. Yeah, we all share that one, right? That's the difference. It's 24 right now, Crossville, 30 Middlesboro, 31 Knoxville, 30 Newport. Continuing to cool over the next hour, continue to feel colder. You can actually see some of those flurries flying here in West Knoxville. Wind chills 12 right now, Crossville, 22 in Knoxville, 21 Middlesboro. So make sure that's what you dress for with our WVLT weather alert continuing today due to those bitter cold wind chills. If you missed that forecast where you live, I'll have it for you coming up over on the CW, the WBXX, especially when it comes to how long this WVLT weather alert is going to last.
All right, Heather, thank you very much. We're going to have Kyle Granger over there. He's checking on all those conditions across Sevier County. Abby Kasoris is going to join us as well over on WBXX. We hope you have a good Tuesday.
Are you tired of looking at